Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Subramaniam Maslamani. I am a Tamil. And today my topic is Tamils. We need a new generation of leaders to lead the struggle for freedom. The current leaders must touch their conscience and ask, are we stepping stones or are we stumbling blocks? Tamil parents, please give your children freedom, dignity, self-respect, courage, determination and perseverance so that they will become leaders instead of educated high-tech workers. Rudrakumar and Emmanuel must travel down to Sri Lanka, defying all bans and restrictions, and recreate Tiananmen Square and show to the world, I love my freedom, and say to the world, give me my freedom or give me my death. Until such time, the world and the Sinhalese will take you for granted. Or else, Emmanuel and Rudrakumar and others must resign to be replaced by Western educated, inferiority complex free, freedom loving younger generation. These gentlemen and others do not have the guts to fight the enemy, hence they fight among themselves. People who have lived under oppression for generations are by nature do not comprehend freedom. They equate asking for freedom synonymous with violating the law. My own people, lesser in age than I, and grew up in Sri Lanka, wondering, am I not scared of breaking the law? Little they know that I stand on the shoulders of the very Constitution and the Bill and Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which give me the express right to exercise my freedom to the limit so as not to infringe into the rights and freedom of others. We Tamils too lived in a society in which, in the name of respect to elders, we exchange freedom for peace and obedience. Now you will understand why we get on our own people, for we have that colonial mentality of superiority, inferiority complex. We berate our own people dignity, but berate ourselves to others. That inferiority mentality has to be changed, and the younger generation growing up in free Western societies are the best to change that mentality. We Tamils have an identity crisis and an identity deficient mentality. The African Americans learned that if they have to free their people, first they had to redefine what is right and what is wrong. And they came to the conclusion that there is nothing called right and wrong except what is good for the African Americans as the right and what is not good for them, for the African Americans, as wrong. They stopped judging their own brothers and sisters. That is how the Black Brotherhood movement started, and the rest is history. This is my message to my brothers. Do not berate your own brother. You are digging the grave for two people. When Radhika Sethsabesan spoke in Tamil in the Canadian Parliament, the whole House, irrespective of the party affiliation, gave a standing ovation. Not because she spoke in Tamil, but because she knew the rights and freedoms of our democracy in Canada. Human rights, right to life, dignity, mutual respect, etc. are the hallmark of free societies. She grew up in a free society where one's freedom is respected by others. By the same covenant, she respects the freedom of others too. The Canadian Parliament stood up to ovate the Canadian Constitution that gave the freedom she lost under the Sinhalese. They were applauding the greatness of the Canadian Constitution. To deal with the ongoing Tamil struggle, we had to first resolve the struggle among the, I call them, donkey diaspora. Rudrakumar and Emmanuel have completely put the honorable Tamil citizen away, but are vying for their personal ambitions. Both these gentlemen may be good working within a cocoon, but they cannot think outside the cocoon and have the ability to deal with the issue at hand. Rudrakumar is good at whipping up the emotions of the people. But so far, he has not come out with a proper plan. He cannot, for he is surrounded by bookworms and paper tigers. What we need are pragmatic, practical people who can set goals and achieve them. Where is the honorable Tamil citizen in the spectrum of events? Rudrakumar is called Honorable Prime Minister. Others have their qualification longer than their names, but they cannot openly say a word or openly declare their right to freedom. They cannot stand up for themselves, but want to fight for the freedom of honorable Tamil citizen. Honorable Rudrakumar and the doctors, doctorates and professors, can you please stand up on the podium and declare your freedom first? You do not have an inch of land to call yours. You do not have a cinch of freedom in your mind, and you want to fight for the Tamil Elam and the honorable Tamil citizen? Go create another Tiananmen Square in Sri Lanka. Let's see your guts. We need new breed of people to take over the struggle and take it right into the living room of the Rajapaksas and the Mahanayakas. Here I quote from the story of Exodus. God would not allow the Israelis to enter the holy land of Israel until a new generation that did not know slavery had come into being. The story of Exodus thus signifies a new beginning, a new life without slavery, and hope of a new nation. Therefore I say unto Tamils that we must hand over the struggle to a new generation born outside Sri Lanka who does not have the feeling of inferiority, minority and second-classedness. Ms. Ratika Satsavesan crystallized and demonstrated this to us. My humble request to Rudrakumar and Emmanuel and others, please hand over the mantle to a new generation of Tamils who were born, bred and educated in the West, and they had never seen or felt discrimination. They will have an entirely different view at the struggle. I am sorry to say that when I listen to Rudrakumar, I feel like vomiting. Sorry to say that. Honorable Tamil citizen, compare our so-called leaders to world-class leaders and determine for yourself if their words will make even a minor ripple. We need people who can create tsunamis after tsunamis till the water level rises and bury the criminals underwater. Not that Emmanuel and Rudrakumar are undesirable elements, but they simply do not know what freedom is. Their minds are deficient in freedom. I am yet to see any one of them taking on Mahinda Rajapaksa and the Sinhalese regime in Sri Lanka. What they do not understand is the personality of the enemy and the flow of their personality. They do not know the weakness and the strength of the enemy, or maybe they are simply scared and fearful due to their inferiority upbringing. They have no freedom. and they do not understand what freedom is, and how others always respect a man who stand up for himself. That is the problem with the current leadership, because they do not have the guts to fight the enemy. Therefore they fight among themselves. They are living in an imaginary, illusionary world of their own making. It is neither good for them nor good for the honorable Tamil citizen who follow them. I call them Parankotais and Dosais, and the Sinhalese call them Parayas. Unfortunately, I am a Tamil, so I will call them Parankotais and Dosais. What plan Rudrakumar or Emmanuel have for the Tamils? You had to build up that mass and the momentum so that there is some force and effect. We have to offer something in bargain. When Rudrakumar cannot afford a computer, an internet connection, and a webcam, what can he offer to his followers? All he can do is to stir up their emotions. Emotions are a dangerous state of mind. I would suggest that he resign and allow someone else capable of blazing the trail to take on the task. Nobody is going to get you a Tamil Eidam. You have to go and get it yourself. What we do at World Class Tamil are promoting education, employment, entrepreneurship, business formation, courage and confidence building. To us, Honorable Tamil citizen is our leader, not Honorable Rudrakumar. His behavior seemed to resemble the behavior of the Sinhalese and especially of Rajapaksas. I do not know if they have infiltrated and occupied his mind. Today's leadership is team leadership. It used to be one-man leadership. Then in the 1970s came the joint leadership, 2 people, 3 people. Now in the 2010 came the team leadership. And then we should have a team of people leading the struggle, not Rudrakumar or Emmanuel alone. Remember, the world is so complex, one man cannot deal with it. That is why even in businesses, we have got a team of people running the show, not just me or my manager. Everybody becomes part of the team. Everybody becomes a leader. Rudrakumar and Emmanuel, they cannot do it alone. So then why should they try, and why should the foolhardy Tamil believe in them? Emotionally motivated people are good at the front line, but the policy makers and planners must be at least well educated with good practical experience. You cannot run a freedom struggle alone with the barely educated people. We need people with courage, determinations and perseverance. Together we are formidable. Divided we are failures. Then why the educated leaders cannot unite? All of us together are smarter than any one of us alone. Everybody knows that. We studied it when in the junior kindergarten. And we are kept informed of it every day in our families and workplace. Then why are these people divided and not united? United we stand, divided we fall. Trees succumb to hurricanes, but forests stand like fortresses. Therefore, in my final analysis, these people must go. Rudrakumar must go, Emmanuel must go, and all the others must go. Or all of you can unite and produce a formidable team and an invincible force. If they cannot take on the Sri Lankan government head on, deal with them, deal within the law to frustrate them to give into our rights, which they are smothering. You may have greatness of mind, but you don't have the whiteness of your thinking to say, I am a free man and no man can take away my freedom. This any man will fear, any tyrant will fear. Coming to China, China is the greatest nation on the world. They are good in making things to be sold for pennies and pittance. And they do not have the longitude and latitude of our thinking in America. To China, it is feeding people. But to us, it is making people free. We are at much higher level of moral evolution. We have solved our economic woes. We have solved our social and political woes. Now we help the other nations to do the same. Prosperity has several dimensions. One of them is economic. China is where we were 100 years ago. While they are working to eliminate poverty and housing, we are working on freeing people worldwide, teaching them about total freedom and absolute human rights. Mahinda Rajapaksa and the Mahanayakas have very little breathing space to fix their primitiveness. I will bet my life on it. That's all, folks, for this week. As I always say, 70 million Tamils worldwide, unite, stay together, work hard, and never ever give up. The best is yet to come, and we are winning. My name is Subramanian Maslamani, a world-class Tamil, powered by convictions, commitments, and conscience.